بسم الله الصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين أما بعد. Alhamdulillah, we are back with our classes after a long holiday. It was Ramadan. After Ramadan, Eid is the official holiday of Muslims. That's why I knew a lot of brothers will be traveling and may not be able to attend. That's why we had that off as well. But Alhamdulillah, we are back, and inshallah we will be back with full force and full speed bi'idhnillah ta'ala. And we will quickly, and maybe in a month or less, maybe 4 or 5 lessons, maybe even less, we'll finish the class. We'll give out the ijazah to those that attended the classes and those that passed the exams, inshallah. And then we'll continue the series and start studying the rest, complete the 3 series book, and then start fiqh and tafsir bi'idhnillah ta'ala. May Allah grant us success in this and allow us to complete this. Ameen. Now, this class, we will just go through quickly Al-Ihsan. Now, Al-Ihsan is the third stage from the stages of Al-Islam. Okay, who's going to read? Who's going to read? Who's ready?
Should I read?
Tafadhal Sadiq. This is the third pillar.
The third level, Ihsan, it has one pillar: to worship Allah as if you see Him. Even though you do not see Him, He certainly sees you. And the proof is His saying, truly Allah is with those who keep their duty unto Him and those who are muhsinun. And also His saying, and put your trust in the Almighty, the most merciful, who sees you when you stand up and your movements among those who fall prostrate. 5 compulsory congregational. Verily only He is the all-hearer, the all-knower. Likewise, He's saying, whatever you may be doing and whatever portion you may be reciting from the Quran and whatever deed you people may be doing, we are a witness when you are doing it.
جزاك الله خير. المرتبة الثالثة الإحسان ركن واحد وهو أن تعبد الله كأنك تراه فإن لم تكن تراه فإنه يراك. This part of the hadith is from the famous narration, the hadith of Jibreel, and that we'll study inshallah in our next class. The Rasul said, Ihsan is that you worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as if you see Him. فَإِن لَمْ تَكُنْ تَرَاهُ فَإِنَّهُ يَرَاكَ. Even if you can't see Him, even that you do not see Him, He sees you. So this is the highest level of worship or taqwa that you can attain. The level of Ihsan. And Ihsan has only one rukn. So we had Islam had how many? 5. Iman had 6. Ihsan has only one stage, and that stage is that you worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as if you see Him. So you're worshipping Allah, you're fasting, you're praying, as if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is in front of you. And the Shaykh brought adillah from the verses of the Quran. إِنَّ اللَّهَ مَعَ الَّذِينَ اتَّقَوْا وَالَّذِينَ هُمْ مُحْسِنُونَ وَتَوَكَّلْ عَلَى الْعَزِيزِ الرَّحِيمِ الَّذِي يَرَاكَ حِينَ تَقُومُ وَتَقَلُّبَكَ فِي السَّاجِدِينَ إِنَّهُ هُوَ السَّمِيعُ الْعَلِيمُ. And also وَمَا تَكُونُ فِي شَأْنٍ وَمَا تَتْلُو مِنْهُ مِنْ قُرْآنٍ وَلَا تَعْمَلُونَ مِنْ عَمَلٍ إِلَّا كُنَّا عَلَيْكُمْ شُهُودًا إِذْ تُفِيضُونَ فِيهِ. And Allah says in the last verse, whatever action you indulge with, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is shahid upon you. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is all seeing and watching over you. Now, our Shaykh Haythem mentions that the worship is of 2 types. This single rukn of ihsan is divided into 2. Ibadatu mushahadatin. Worship of mushahada. It is worshipping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as if you see Him. And this is, the Shaykh mentioned, out of love and desiring with what is in front of with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So you worship Allah because you love Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and the things that you're going to get, i.e. Jannah, from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So the main motive of your worship is love. But also the point is, it doesn't mean they don't fear Allah. They fear Allah, but the motive that they act is because of the desire and the love they have for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has in store for them. And this is the stage that all of the prophets and the messengers are at. When they worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the worship is ibadat mushahada, as if they're seeing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And they're worshipping Allah because of the biggest factor is the love and desire for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has in store for them. It is possible for other people from this ummah to attain that level. What we know for sure is that the prophets and messengers are at this level. And then you have the ibadatul muraqaba. Ibadah, worship of muraqaba. Muraqaba means in Arabic, it means watching over. Here, ibadatu khawfin wa harb. It is, in English, it says out of fear and fleeing. That, which means you know that Allah is watching you. You know that Allah is watching you. هذا المرتبة لا يخرج عنها مسلم. No Muslim comes out of this. All of the Muslims, we know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is watching us. We all fall in this category. Our aim should be, all of us, we should try to get to the other category, which is ibadatul mushahada, worshipping Allah as if you see him. Now we have hadith of Jibreel. Shall we read it or shall we stop here? Actually, I think it's been, let's stop here because this hadith is big. I just wanted to first class take it a bit easy, and next class bi'idhnillah ta'ala we might have Shaikh Haythem even going through this hadith. I'll try to get him, he's free. Abdullah Zahir, tafaddal.
Ahsan Allahu ilayk. My question is about the 8th nullifier of Islam. I was reading a statement of Sheikh Ahmed Shakir online, and the quote, he said that as for ta'awun with the kuffar, with any type from the various type of cooperations, regardless of how minute or great it is extreme ridda. So he said basically that any type of ta'awun against the Muslims with the kuffar is extreme ridda. And also I read some statement of Ibn Hazm and other scholars that any type of cooperation is apostasy, and these statements are also used by takfiris. So they say that the 21st century scholar, Saudi scholar, saying that there are different type of cooperation is not a proof against us. So I was wondering if the Salaf or classical scholars made distinction that certain type is kufr and certain type is not.
Jazakallah khair. Abdullah, did you study Nawaqid Islam with us?
Yes, I did.
Okay, let me answer you. Firstly, let me just clarify, when you said the 8 Nawaqid of Islam, there are not 8, there are many, or there are not 10, there are many things that invalidate one's Islam, and the 10 are mentioned by the Shaykh in this book. Of course, when you say the 8th, I know you're referring to the book. That's number 1. Number 2, Akhi Kareem, look, our marja', our return is always to the Quran and Sunnah. When you look at the life of the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, were there not Jews living in Medina? Rasulullah had peace treaties with them. Rasulullah honored their peace treaties. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam did business with them. Rasulullah even accepted the invitation of a Jewish woman who invited Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam to her house. Rasulullah went. Not only that, Rasulullah ate from the meat that she had prepared. And of course, we know later that it was poisoned. But Rasulullah had all of these treaties with the Jews. And also that, do you know that a treaty meant that if any other Jew or from outside, or any other kafir, or any other tribe of Muslim attacked the Jews, Rasulullah would be there to defend the Jews because they were living under the protection of the Muslim army? Imagine the Muslim army would go and defend those Jews that were living in Medina. Why? Because we had a pact. So these people, what would they give the ruling on the Messenger of Allah? What was he, according to them? So in Islam, we have limits. The Shaykh mentioned, now coming to the third point, explaining what the Shaykh mentioned, mudaharat al-kuffar, helping kuffar against the Muslims. If you do that because of a worldly benefit, it's a great sin, and you're on the wash of close to becoming kafir. You're not a kafir. You can be on the borderline. Someone, of course, if someone helping kuffar, is close and moving towards committing kufr. But that off in itself is not kufr. It becomes kufr when he does that out of love for the kuffar. He's helping the kuffar out of love for the kuffar or out of hatred for the Muslims. He wants the kuffar to win the battle against the Muslims. This guy is kafir. But if he's doing it to keep, for example, he's a politician, to keep his seat, that case we don't give a fatwa outright that this person is kafir. Again, the reason being is, we said Rasulullah had many treaties with the kuffar. So being nice and treating kuffar well and honoring the pacts between us and helping each other in what is right, there's no harm in that at all. And also, I would advise you to read the tafsir of Surah 66, I think it is. 66. 66, Al-Mumtahina? No, 60, my bad, not. Surah 60, not 66. Read the tafsir of the first few verses and then come back and speak to me next time, inshallah, because there's a story of one of the Sahaba who helped the kuffar, the army of kuffar against the Muslims. Umar said, let me behead this munafiq, and Rasulullah said no. Rasulullah didn't allow him, even though he helped the kuffar against the Muslims. But yeah, I'm not going to say any more. Go and read tafsir of Surah 60, and that should answer all of the questions, inshallah. Barakallahu feekum. I'll leave you here. أقول قولي هذا واستغفر الله لي ولكم فاستغفروه إنه هو الغفور الرحيم. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.